Welcome back. Now we are shining the spotlight on Tony Duquette. He was an artist of many talents, creating sets for movies, costumes for Broadway, and jewels for royals. Now his creative legacy lives on under the direction of Hutton Wilkinson, who has been Duquette's business partner since the 70s. Hutton takes us on a tour of one of Tony Duquette's spectacular homes in Beverly Hills, with amazing gardens and grounds.
Hello. I'm Hutton Wilkinson. Welcome to the house of Tony Duquette, the legendary American design icon here in Beverly Hills. It's a small house, but it's set on a very large piece of land, 5.5 lots contiguous in Beverly Hills, bought in 1949 for $1,500. Tony Duquette is considered to be an American design icon. As a young man, he was making costumes and sets for Fred Astaire musicals at MGM with Vincent Minnelli. And then with me in his 80s, we were doing jewelry for Tom Ford at Gucci. Tony always said more is more. And when you see the inside of the house, you'll understand what he's talking about. Without further ado, let's head inside. Follow me. From the small entrance hall, we enter the grand drawing room with its 20-foot ceilings and a display of some of Tony Duquette's best work. Classical architects understood the importance of going from a small space into a grand space, and that's one thing that Tony Duquette embraced. And this drawing room is certainly grand. In fact, some people think it's aggressively grand, but I like it. The doorway I just walked through is a 17th century Italian doorway. It was a wedding present to Tony and Elizabeth from the daughters of a Greek shipping tycoon, who at the wedding said, "We want to give you a silver tea set for your wedding." And he said, "I don't want a silver tea set, I want the front doors of your house." And so they sent this 17th century Italian doorway. Some of the other notable features in this room are the lambrequins over the windows, which are made of dipped plaster painted to look like tooled leather, with 18th century wings from Italy and silver urns from Spain, and the chandelier, which was made of Venetian glass blown to Tony's specifications to look like Piedmont lilies. Just off the drawing room, there's a library, and from the library we enter the dining room, which we call the monkey room, because of the frieze of monkeys all the way around it. The table is set with our own designs of malachite and lapis lazuli dishes, and the coral branches were specially made for Tony in Venice. This is really one of my favorite rooms in the house. It's all glass. We're surrounded by the gardens. You can hear the waterfalls outside going into the lake. The ceiling is covered in Indian embroidered tent panels, and very cozy and intimate. This is the garden room, one of the most used rooms in the house because of the south exposure. Believe it or not, this was a one-car garage in 1949, but Tony never put a car in the garage, so he turned it into the gateway to the garden. And he's decorated it all in shades of green, which he called a neutral color. So we have a malachite carpet, hand-woven in silk, velvets on the sofas in different shades of green, just like all the varying shades of green in the garden. The giant clamshell étagères are unique to Tony Duquette. He designed them for his producer at MGM, Arthur Freed, who had an orchid farm. But for me, the best thing in the room is the screen. It's created from an 8-inch by 11-inch drawing of Venice that Tony did in 1947, which was blown up 8 feet by 11 feet. We do this often for clients. They're very glamorous.